So the new Mark 8.5 Golf R Black Edition has had a price increase. So I'm filming this on the 13th of September 2024. And yes, since my previous video sort of sharing a lot about the Golf R Black Edition, the Golf R, the GTI Clubsport, there has been a price increase. And this is actually quite common and normal within kind of the world, you know, as time moves on, you know, inflation goes up, all these kind of things. It's quite common. The price increase, I'm going to kind of discuss it, is actually across the whole of the Volkswagen Golf range, and it does make a little bit of mainly a difference in the GTI, the Mark 8.5, a car that I've shared quite a lot as well, but also obviously for the Black Edition, which is the top of the range, the most expensive car that you can get from sort of like the Golf platform. So yeah, let's go through this. And yeah, for sure, this is a community channel, so please get involved in the comments. You know, I'm really excited to hear your kind of thoughts. You know, I've heard from a lot of owners who've ordered, say, the GTIs and the Black Editions, and yeah, please feel free to get involved. Just generally, because I feel yeah, it's a community channel, and I love to kind of share this content, and it certainly helps other people out, including little things like this, because it can be quite subtle. When a car comes out, you know, prices can be important. And if I go, and as you can kind of see here on the Volkswagen website, you've got, say, the GTI now. And one thing in the UK is we have basically, it's a luxury car tax over £40,000. And once you hit that, you do get taxed quite heavily. And now the GTI is at £39,400. So it's gone up by about £500. And what that actually means now is just on the GTI, and I will get to the Black Edition in a second. What that means for the GTI is if you're actually building it now, and actually I absolutely love the base spec car, and I've shared a base spec car from an owner in the last few videos, so please check back on my channel to see that. It's one of the only ones actually on YouTube actually to see an actual base spec car. There's nothing base about it. He essentially went for this car in Grenadilla Black. That's what he went for. If you went for that today, you would be over 40,130. So that's just something to be aware of, unfortunately. So for that owner before, when it was at 38,900 and he put on the Grenadilla Black, he was below the £40,000 threshold. So that's, yeah, something to be aware of. And I should stress as well, even if you get Volkswagen like deals, for example, if the RRP is above 40,000, you will get charged more. Yeah, there's things to think about, like around that kind of side. There's also other sort of interesting things with like in terms of like you can claim the VAT back and all these kind of certain aspects, which I won't get massively into, but you may know potentially more than myself. But essentially, if you want to paint, you're going to be over that £40,000 price. In fact, I can't see a single paint other than the solid paints. So Moonstone Grey, Pure White, which is actually the original colour, 39,400, and the Urano Grey. They're the only ones that are going to keep you below the £40,000 out of all the high performance Golfs. So hopefully that kind of sums it up. If you want anything else more, you're going to be over. And something I love about the GTI in particular, this lovely car, and I'll put it in King's Red Metallic because that's one of my favourite colours, is that it's a car that you can just get out the box. And I shared a chat with the owner as well, and yeah, it's well worth checking out those videos I've done on the car, and I've actually got plans to share the GTI in a slightly higher specification, if you can say that, with more options from Volkswagen. They dropped me an email yesterday, and yeah, I'm grateful, and I'll share that at the end of September. But I love a car that you can just get and just sort of be like, right, get the GTI and be done with it. That's something great, and it is a little bit of a shame with the price increase. You know, hopefully some of you locked your orders in beforehand, because that will affect, yeah, obviously certain people wanting to get the car, because for that you could then go to the Clubsport or the R Black Edition, because you're already over that 40,000, and there's not that much difference in the price in terms of a few £1,000s here for the Clubsport and another up to, well, yeah, we'll get into the price of the Black Edition now actually. But that's just something I like to say. I do feel like the Golf is a bit of a people's car, so to just get a car, I still feel the Golf GTI can make a lot of sense. The Club Sport is now 42,155. The standard R is 43,895, and the R Black Edition is £45,145 starting. I have heard of discounts that you can kind of get on the cars, but obviously this is just the price that it says. It actually says price unavailable there. That's interesting. But anyway, the colours you can get to, nothing's really changed on the options. Grenadilla Black, Lapis Blue and Pure White. Pure White is a non-cost option. Lapis Blue Premium Metallic with the black roof is 1,300. Oh man, the Black Edition looks so cool. I've shared this car plenty and you can kind of see from the pictures and the change in my voice because it is a mega car. And yeah, very grateful. 2 owners have since reached out to me and have said once they receive theirs, they're happy for me to share it on the channel. And yeah, to be honest with you, I feel that's almost like one of the best things, to share an actual proper owner's experience. That's why I like doing my ownership reviews. But yeah, obviously feel free to reach out to me if you would be happy to share your car. You know, all my information's in the description. Yeah, it's very much just sharing it. It looks proper mean, doesn't it, the Black Edition? Yeah, and how does that price increase affect you? Will it affect your decision to kind of get the car? You know, what are your kind of thoughts on that? I mean, for me, it's certainly for the Club Sport, the R and the R Black Edition, I don't think it's as much of a concern. That's just my personal opinion. £500 here and there is not too much on a 45 grand car, but I feel for the GTI because it's just at that balance of sort of like the 39,400 now. Yeah, it's sort of getting it affects the things with the colour. That's the thing, and it's particularly with the tax breaks on that. But that's one with the black roof, as you can kind of see as I'm skipping through it. I'll be really interested to know with the R Black Edition, the R in general, how the haptic buttons work. You know, I've tried the GTI quite a few times with the new physical buttons and they work well, similar to my Mark 7R. The screen I've been getting on with too, and generally the car has improved quite nicely, and it's been great to spend time with, and yeah, very cool car indeed. But yeah, that's really a lot about the price. In terms of the options, people might be able to let me know. I don't believe there's any increase in the price. I mean, panoramic roof 1,220, adaptive chassis control £720. That's something that is kind of worth going through as well. Exterior, the Krapovich exhaust is 3,315. So, you know, obviously the price, it can kind of add up, but at the end of the day, you're getting I don't believe it's limited in number, but I believe it's limited in production time. I believe that's something different, where the normal R will go on for a little bit longer. It's certainly a car that looks super cool, and I've shared so much on it with sort of like the black brake calipers, the black wheels, the black exhaust tips as well. So I think it's got black written down the side, yeah, just shown there. Yeah, very, very nice. Obviously the 333 brake horsepower EA888 2 litre, if you're not familiar, and actually the GTI, if you're not familiar either, has 265 PS, which is really interesting because it felt really plenty powerful enough from my time kind of driving it. The one thing that I do want to say actually, and I'll switch to a picture which kind of describes it best, is I did ask Volkswagen a question. Obviously I value my relationship with actually the manufacturer and getting the information, yeah, from the horse's mouth, as it is, you know, like directly from the people who make the car, is the tyres. And one thing in other regions is they offered a performance tyre, and I believe it's like a semi-slick which they developed, and they developed it on the Nürburgring as well. Now that is available in certain areas of Europe and in Germany. From what they told me, they said it's not available in the UK. You can't get this performance tyre option as part of the car, but they did then say it's not something they're ruling out. So they left it kind of open, but if you're ordering it, you won't get a special tyre, and that for me is a little bit of a shame. If you're familiar with my channel, I've spent a lot of time driving, say, like the Focus ST edition, the Focus ST track pack, and the track pack came with Pirelli P0 Corsa tyres, and these are tyres which you basically can get on like BMW M3 CSLs, you can get on like really top of the range cars, really high performance cars. And you know what? It changed the way the car drive for me. I know it's cold and it's wet. It's absolutely freezing today. We've had a bit of a cold spell, an Arctic wind blown through. And the tyres made a huge difference on that Focus ST track pack. And actually, I've got plans with another owner to share that in the channel soon too. So that's not available with your Black Edition or your R, or as far as I'm aware, even your Clubsport. And I feel it's generally probably because of the climate more than anything. I'm really, really interested to know what you think. You know, everything's so expensive these days, and this is just what's kind of happened. Prices have kind of gone up, and you can kind of see here from the Clubsport as well, if I just pop it into a very nice specification here. £500 increase. Will it put you off getting the cars? Will it put you off getting a Black Edition? Are you quite happy that you might have locked yours in at the price that you got it at originally? Yeah, very interested to know your thoughts, and I'm happy to share more on the car too in the future. Very excited to share more. And yeah, like, share, subscribe. Plenty more content to come.